Hey, this is Carl, and I had a coaching client ask me recently about service level agreements. And I pointed out that one of the things I always do when I'm up on stage is I correct people when they say service level agreements. Because I gotta tell you, I'm not a fan of service level agreements. What? Okay, I wrote a book on service agreements. Service agreements are different from service level agreements. The difference is a service level agreement promises to give some money back if you don't perform. I want to be a fair guy, but I never want to be in a position of giving somebody their money back if I don't have to. So let me give you some thoughts about what I'm talking about. The most common thing that people mean when they talk about response time is time to actually get the work done. So there's three components of that. Time to acknowledge the service ticket, time to start working on it, and time to finish working on it or complete the service request. So here's the thing that happens is that people put into their service agreements, well, we have a 3-hour response time. Okay, let's take a look at that. Does that mean 3 hours to acknowledge the ticket? And is this business hours? Okay, so 3 business hours, so it's 4:30 p.m. You have until 11:30 the next morning to acknowledge the ticket. Does that seem right to you? Well, strictly speaking, that's what a service level agreement would say. Because you have to be very careful that you can't get in this situation where people say, well, I put this in at midnight and by 3 o'clock in the morning you didn't respond, right? So there's that response time. So you've got to be very careful about exactly what you mean by response time. Is it time to acknowledge? If it's not acknowledged, then is it work? What's the time to work? And here you need to give yourself some leeway, especially if you have more than one customer, and I hope you do. So let's say the time to begin work is another 3 hours. So now you've got a 6-hour window, right? Now most of you, I hope at this point, are saying, if I can't get my clients to at least put in a ticket and have me start working in 6 hours, I'm in deep trouble. And then the time to resolution depends on the service ticket, doesn't it? I mean, the only time anybody's going to really care is if they've got a really big problem. So what are you going to promise that you can deliver with regard to closing that ticket? Is it going to be another 6 hours? And of course, that's 12 business hours. So now you're talking about a day and a half later. Are any of these things reasonable? Do they make sense in your head? My guess is probably not. And here's the biggest problem with service level agreements. At the end of the day, a service level agreement means that if you don't deliver what you promise, you're going to give them some money back. So it might be a portion of their bill, it might be the number of hours covered, there might be a formula that you have to come up with. I do have language for creating service level agreements as a part of your service agreement. It's in my book on service agreements, but I also strongly discourage you from doing this. I just talked to a coaching client who has had maybe 1 or 2 requests for some kind of promises about timing in the entire time he's been in business. For me, I've been in business 20 years doing this consulting. I have never had a client ask me about what my response times are and whether or not they're going to be able to get any money back if I don't meet my commitments. Here's the thing. Don't try to sell something that people don't want to buy. Think about it. Do your clients go on the internet and compare the service level agreements of the other managed service providers that are out there? I don't think they do. I think at the end of the day, you have to deliver good service. When you have a problem, we've all had problems. Problems happen. Stuff happens. We can't get to somebody for an extra hour or 2 hours. We can't fix something in 2 hours. Okay? Sometimes we have to do rework. Stuff happens. And at the end of the day, you look at your client and you say, look, I'm going to give you a couple of free hours. We're going to make this up to you. We're going to make it right. We fixed our system. We fixed your system. That's more important. And we're going to mend that relationship. And as long as you've got a good relationship with that client, they're going to continue to rely on you. If you start saying, well, I'm going to draw these lines and give people a bunch of money back, that's kind of a cool sales pitch, I guess. But at least in the small business space, I don't think anybody's listening. I don't think it's a sales pitch that actually sells anything. And if I were you, I wouldn't waste 1 minute trying to put a service level agreement into your service agreement. This is Carl, and I wish you all the best in your future consulting. Don't forget to like it if you like it, subscribe to the channel, and don't miss a thing.